Fanatically Correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
Look at these people, these human beings. Consider their potential. From the day they arrive on the planet and blinking step into the sun, there is more to see than can ever be seen. More to do than... No, hold on. Sorry, that's the Lion King. But the point still stands. Leave them alone!
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, Yo Peace, and Omega.
This is the Fanatically Correct podcast. We're going to be doing a Doctor Who panel. I'm your host, Omega.
MSK.
Yo, peace.
And we're going to talk Doctor Who. Like I said, we're a podcast, so a few things we get out of the way at the beginning. We're going to talk about... Hold on, I got the wrong panel. There we go. At 3:30, we'll be back in this room doing a Marvel panel, talking about the MCU and pretty much the MCU canon. So the shows of the MCU and all the 20 movies that have now come out for the Marvel Universe cinematic. But you can, if you want to listen to us, you can reach us on Podbean, any pod, if you have an Echo and Alexa. You can listen to us on iTunes and Google Play. It'd be nice if you review us, if you listen to us on iTunes or Google Play. And then you can reach us on Twitter and Instagram at FanCorrect. We also have a website that will take you directly to our Podbean, which is fanaticallycorrect.com. And if you actually want to email us, it's contactfancor@gmail.com.
And Google Plus.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I purposely tried to skip that.
I think that's a new.
Yeah.
It's a form of social media as a thing.
It's like
That's the other thing I use.
Yeah.
There you go. You're one of four people.
Yeah.
You, him, Dan Cook, and some other guy.
Tom.
There you go. Tom from MySpace. He's on
four guys.
Google Plus. So, now that everyone's out of the rain, we're going to talk some Doctor Who. For the most part, we try to go over, like, favorite things we have. So we'll go over our favorite doctors, favorite companions, favorite episodes, favorite antagonists. And you can shout things out, and we'll acknowledge you if we wish to, and if it's worth discussing. But it's overall just a conversation. It's just sitting back, relaxed, like if you just watch an episode with some friends and talking it out. So we'll go ahead and start with our favorite doctors. First, we're going to poll the room real quick by applause. Anybody in here favorite doctors 1 through 8, or the War Doctor?
All right.
All right, what doctor? What number? Just curious. 4. Doctor number 4.
Number 4.
Excellent. And is that when you started watching, or okay? Excellent. So you're a longtime fan. Excellent. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have mostly noobs like the rest of us. All right, Doctor number 9 by applause. Do we have any 9s in the audience?
I think
any Doctor number 9s?
Woo! Yeah. No.
So
All right.
lonesome.
So no, it's huge applause right now.
Now it's gonna get really loud. It's Doctor number 9. They don't have. It's Doctor Who. They're all called Doctor. All right, do me a favor. Hey, those are my parents. Everybody applause for my parents. Yeah. Edit everything they ask out.
No,
everything they say, just edit completely out. Thank you.
Yeah,
All
I'm totally
let's go and get a big applause already. I'm sure of it. Doctor number 10. A lot of David Tennant fans.
You gotta give a name. You gotta give a name.
The name. David Tennant. There you go. The actor's name.
There you go.
There you go.
By names.
Let's go Doctor number 11, Matt Smith. We got 11 fans.
Matt Smith.
Right.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the doctor a little sillier, okay? And then my personal favorite, Doctor number 12, any current composer. Wow. Surprise. All right. So we'll start with MSK. Actually, the loudest applause was number 10. So
Was it? I don't know. 11 was.
Yeah,
11 was up there too.
Surprising.
I don't know. I heard
No, 12 too.
Wait, are any of us 11? Are any of us?
I don't think so.
12, 10, 9. No?
There's no 9.
So we're talking 11. Who's an 11 fan in the audience? 11 fan. Shoot us in like 2 or 3 words. Why? Besides fezzes are cool. Put everyone on the spot. Fezzes are cool.
Bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. He's
That's
your
your
first
first
doctor?
doctor.
That's a good reason.
First Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a great follow-up to Tennant. He really was. They really changed it up with... he was more silly. in his tone compared to Tennant. Had a little bit more of a serious note, which we've discussed before. I have a feeling is what's going to happen with the newest Doctor. I think she's going to be a silliness to Capaldi's more seriousness. We'll see how that turns out. But I guess then we'll just go straight
Is that
into
11 your favorite one?
No, 12 is my favorite.
12 is your favorite. Why is 12 your favorite?
12. Don't throw I mean first.
That's all
We'll
I
get
did.
into it. I see how they think. Let's go 10. We're going north. 12 is the most recent, so everyone's going to be fresher in the mind with 12.
I think 10 was a good... He plays silly and dramatic very well, where Eccleston was more of like... Once he gets really dramatic... Oh, I guess the microphone.
There you go. Just gotta keep it close to your mouth.
Yeah, Eccleston could be overly dramatic in some scenes, but I think the dynamic between Tennant and Rose, and Tennant and Donna especially, which is my favorite companion.
Tennant and Martha?
Played out who?
Tennant and Martha?
Tennant
Hey,
and
Martha fans in the audience? Martha? Really?
There's
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Martha was she came off right after Rose, and she wanted Ten's like attention
the whole time.
and Ten just kept thinking about Rose, and
Yeah,
so
she had romantic
Martha just kind
interest.
of gave up on it, and just being strong-willed on her own went her own way. She's like, you know, I'm just gonna do my own thing because you keep thinking about Rose, and it's just
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
That would have been a good. That might have been better for her character, and it would have developed more if she would have became a main character on Torchwood. But yeah, unfortunately, she didn't join there with Captain Jack and with Doctor. Yeah, number 10. I think he paired with all his companions very well. Like you said with Donna, which I guess is that your favorite companion?
I think their chemistry is the best because
Yeah.
they're the most comedic together.
Yeah. Donna's a great companion because of the way they fed off each other. It was a very platonic relationship.
Yeah.
But number one, very funny. I mean, it's the comedy between the two of them is
Yeah.
great. But there's a lot of heartfelt compassion between the two of them, and Donna really helps him grow as a doctor after everything that happens with Rose and a disappointment. And I think if Donna would have been paired up with a Matt Smith or a couple, I don't think it would have worked as well. She wouldn't have been as good of a companion. I think she fed off of Tennant so well and so differently than every other companion fed off of Tennant.
Yeah, because they were all in love with him. Rose,
Pretty
Martha
much.
was in love, and then the first episode with Donna, she's like, "Get away from me, alien! I don't need that."
Yeah.
So it's
No,
kind of different.
and one of the best things about Doctor Number 10 is David Tennant's actual personal story. I know a lot of people know about that. Die-hard Doctor Who fan his whole life. Actually marries in real life the daughter of his favorite Doctor, which is number 5.
Yes.
Right? In real life. So it's like, not only does he become the character, his dream job, he's married to the daughter of his favorite Doctor who had his dream job. And she's actually in one of the episodes, she plays his daughter. As right? That was,
She plays Jenny?
Yeah.
Was it Jenny?
Was it Jenny? I think so. Was her
Yeah,
name.
it was a clone.
Yeah, it was a clone of him, and a female clone. So yeah, Tennant also has a lot of things of personal. So he does a lot of charity events too that really blow up. Like he just did something recently, Pigs in Outer Space in England. It was some type of charity event, and they even introduced the newest Doctor in that as well, who he worked with in Torchwood. I mean, not Torchwood.
Broadchurch.
Broadchurch.
I think you could just really tell that he was a fan growing
He
up.
was, and he's still a fan. He still does it. That's what's amazing. He still goes back and takes on the role as the Doctor to do charity events and comedy sketches and things like that. If they asked him to come back and do it, he'd definitely do it. Which is sad because in the time, the time of the Doctor, when they brought the War Doctor and whatever, it would have been awesome if they had Doctor Number 9 in there. But he's obviously not a fan the way Tennant
Well, he
is.
considered it more as an acting job, which is fine, but it would have been nice to have him on that.
Speaking of a guy who's not as much of a fan, so Doctor Number 9, that's your
That's my favorite. What am I gonna do?
defend it.
I have to.
Shoot.
I mean, he's the most serious one for me. It was no joke. I loved the episodes. Pretty much, it got me into watching Doctor Who from the past because they revamped it. I love the chemistry with Rose. It brought Jack. I mean, there was so many great episodes.
Well, the what is it? The one with the children in World War II. That's his episode.
Child.
The Empty
You my
Child. Mummy,
Mummy,
are you my
yeah.
mummy? And that is one of my personal all-time
It
favorite
was-
episodes.
To me, it was great.
Yeah.
I love the Doctor itself. Like I love every Doctor, but I just have a more connection with him. That's just.
Oh, he
that's just for me.
deserves a lot of credit because
It was more serious
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Like he was in. There was no. For him, it was nothing. It was barely any jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
It
was
was
more of a
no,
dramatic.
yeah.
He was just
more
straight
dramatic.
up.
But
And
when he
now for my
does
next
do
show.
that, like one smile, because he
Yeah.
has that.
Yeah.
Eccleston has the best smile where he just smiles and his ears.
Yeah, but
pop
his
out.
is like a cockiness smile.
Yeah,
That's what it
it's
is.
very
He's just
funny.
he's a very cocky Doctor, and The beauty of that, I mean, again, his Doctor's important too because he rebooted the whole series. If it wasn't for Doctor Number 9, the fan base wouldn't have blown up the way it did again to bring a 10 and 11 and a 12, and now we're still going with the War Doctor 13.
Right.
And it's, so he's very relevant, brought in great characters. Captain Jack spun off with Torchwood, and his, brings in Rose, and he actually rebooted the episode. I think it was the first episode. He has that speech where he's holding Rose's hand and he's talking about how he can feel the earth moving and everything all at once, and he lets go of her hand, and he says that I can feel it all stop at once. And it was the first iconic speech of many iconic speeches, because all the Doctors have iconic speeches, the companions each have their own iconic speech, and he really set the tone for what the Doctor Who was going to be from that point on. And so I give credit to Doctor Number 9. He just had one season is the hard thing, so it's hard for him to be a favorite for everyone.
That, in the background things happen, and he just, he didn't want to take a part of it, whatever it was. Yeah. But he was a great
And he brought it back. He brought the whole series back.
And I give him credit for that.
Is The Empty Child your favorite episode?
Huh?
Is The Empty Child still your favorite episode? The World War II?
That's top 3 for me.
That's hard, man.
That's top 3 for me.
But it is, yes. It is.
That's easily my top 3. Yeah, it's easily my top 3.
It's hard. It's a lot of great episodes in there, man.
Yeah. Companion. Does that make Rose your favorite companion?
Yes, Rose is my favorite companion.
Companions.
Hands down.
Who has Rose as their favorite in the audience? A nice applause. Rose, she's a great companion. Bad Wolf.
So is that your favorite companion, or you have some?
She's actually, not my favorite companion. Now we'll go ahead and get into mine. Is Rose your favorite companion with Doctor Number 9, or more because of Doctor 10?
No,
so you're like season,
I'm
that first season all the way.
I'm still behind. I'm still season.
Well, you've seen all the 10 and 11. Stop it.
What?
You've watched all of 10s and 11s.
No, I'm saying I'm still, that's still
where you're stuck. Yeah, I got you.
Still my...
Yeah. Mine is, I'll go companion Doctor, but my Doctor is number 12. And not just because of the way, thank you very much. I guess one person, so I'm all by myself. 12 is, it's not just his portrayal, but a lot of it has to do with the showrunner and the writing that he got to portray. I think the storylines for Doctor Number 12 were incredible. This very last season, his send-off was just mind-blowing. My favorite episode, hands down, let me see because I remember the name of it, which is the one I call it the ice punching episode, which is Heaven Sent. And that's my number 1 episode. And I love the twist to it. I love that it's all him carrying the episode. Most Doctors, in every episode, most of the great episodes, they're feeding off a companion, they're feeding off an antagonist, they're feeding off, a story arc. But even though that episode's part of a story arc, just as alone by its own episode, it's a very internal battle for him. And just to see him age so many years and just pecking away little by little to get his freedom it's an incredible episode. And that's one of the episodes that's when I decided this is my favorite Doctor. There was many episodes that were building towards that. The Moon one, Kill the Moon? Kill the Moon. Kill the Moon, the Zygon. I mean, there was so many that I'm like, I think this is becoming my favorite Doctor. And I hate being that guy because I'm always that guy. Like the most recent thing I've seen, that's my favorite. Like I watch,
well, that's
the
every
Marvel.
Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to do that. And I want to live in something else. But here you go. Exactly. But slowly but surely he went, and that was the episode. I go, you know what? This is my favorite Doctor. I can't see any other Doctor doing this episode the way he did it, bring it the way he brought it. Clara, just to give an example, I didn't think they had great chemistry between her and number 11, which is why it was a big deal when they brought back Amelia Pond, who that is my favorite companion, is actually Amelia and Rory, the combination of the two. But they had to bring her back so 11 could have a good send-off, and I think it helped because him and Clara's relationship, they did manage to make Clara the most significant companion, because she actually picked his TARDIS for him. She goes back with the Fear episode and gives that's another great speech from Doctor Who, is the Fear speech of how Fear is like a companion. And it's interesting because it's stuck with him ever since, and that's why he has the need for a companion throughout his journey. So they managed to write her in as the most significant companion. But I just think that the chemistry, her chemistry wasn't the best with Matt Smith, but with Capaldi, I think they had a excellent chemistry right out the gate. I mean, right in the same episode when he says to her, "You're not my girlfriend," and she goes, "Of course," and he goes, "I'm not talking to you." And he actually had to out loud say to himself, I'm in a new form. The person that I am now is not going to be that same person that would have maybe gone that route with this companion. And I think that they set that up very well. And he's my favorite Doctor. I mean, he really is. He had a great send off by bringing in Doctor Number 1. Was very interesting, and I enjoyed that storyline. But to go into my companion, hands down, Amelia and Rory. I mean, there's so much with them that I enjoy. River Song's parents, that's incredible, and River Song's a great character. Yeah. Do I have any Amy and Rory fans in the crowd? Is that Anyone's favorite?
Two, three,
I got
four.
a few. I got a few. I got a few.
Five.
All right.
Yeah.
Five.
Well, we have a Donna. Donna's his favorite.
Her the ending of her
her
storyline was very tragic because she just like forgets everything.
Yeah, and it was heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking. What I like what they did with Donna was that she impacted the Doctor in a way that ended up being Capaldi, the 12th Doctor. That's a face that he had in one episode, which was the Pompeii episode, and it was because what Donna said during the episode that impacted him that way that he changed into that face again.
Yeah.
He reused that face.
It's the writing of Doctor Who is so clever. That's why it's such a great show, and they're able to do intelligent moves like that because we see that all the time. Like, hey, you're reusing actors, and that's a show that loves to do that, and they reuse actors, but then they'll kind of intertwine it into the storyline somehow.
Yeah,
like they did with Clara, and they did with Clara too,
Yeah.
and then they fed off that big time, made her the Impossible Girl, and now she kept having reincarnations.
Overall, I think Clara had a very good send off as well.
Yeah,
just
she did. Yeah, she went
on her way.
Yeah, she's frozen in time and like right before a second before her death.
Yeah.
But then gets to go on this journey with I don't remember with Arya's character.
Me. Her name is Me.
Me. That's right. Me.
Me.
Which is another. And you know what? I still call her Arya. Anything she does, she's Arya Stark. That's it. So it doesn't matter what she does. She's always gonna be called Arya Stark. But she's, and that's what I'll get into now, is like favorite side characters. I don't really call them companions personally. I call them like reoccurring allies because their storyline isn't that of like a sidekick to the Doctor. They're more either a partner or even sometimes he sidekicks to them. Like River Song, that happens a lot with, where the Doctor kind of sidekicks to her storyline. So with that being said, personally my favorite is Captain Jack, but Me is an incredible side character.
Yeah.
I mean, she only had the one season, but the storyline is so in depth of how he cursed her overall, and then it's almost like a happy ending for her too, because after all this curse and all this is living to the end of time eternity, she gets a companion in Clara, and they get to almost like live out a final second in eternity. So it's fun. But as far as side characters, throw out names: River Song, Captain Jack. What are for River Song? Yeah. Right,
Danny Pink. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Danny Pink. Which was Danny
Well,
Pink?
I like the episode with,
the boyfriend of
with Clara,
right?
yeah.
Clara's boyfriend.
What I like about Danny Pink was the episode Listen, where they kind of go back to when he's a kid.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, that's my favorite episode.
With the
from
toy
Capaldi,
soldier.
With the toy soldier.
Right.
And he's afraid of what's under his bed, and he's just like standing there, not wanting
that's
to
the
look
same
back.
episode about the fear, the fear speech.
Yeah.
Which shows how he's connected to the Doctor in an incredible way. And it's heartbreaking because Rory, we get the soldier who waited in Rory, and he's the gladiator. He kind of gets cursed, but
That's
we
a great story.
it is, and we get him
Great
back.
story.
Where Pink doesn't, we don't get him back. He's a Cyberman, and Doctor Who does it a lot. It really pulls at the heartstrings, and it finds a way to make you like a character and then break your heart with that same character. I love Captain Jack. I mean, I got to bring that up because later on, at the end of every episode, we do what's called a necessity, and he's part of what our necessity is going to be. And I mean, Captain Jack's relationship with 9, with 10, and then just in general, his interaction with Rose is incredible. And just
his storyline is amazing too.
It is, and that's. I'll get it when we do our necessity. I'm going to really get into his storyline that makes me love that character. And unfortunately, it's more of another show that makes me like his character so much more than his character on Doctor Who. But it was in 9 that regenerated him. It was Doctor Number 9, right?
That regenerated?
Yeah, that
It was 9. Yeah, well, he died in the last episode of 9.
And 9.
Yeah, it was.
Rose regenerated.
It was in the 9th. That's what he meant.
I mean, Doctor Number 9 was the one who did it.
Episode of 9, yeah.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, so I'm going to catch up on. I need to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, rewatch
and Doctor Who's one of those shows you do that because they rerun it a lot on BBC, and there's one of those shows that I'll catch an episode. Like, I like this episode. I'll watch it, and the movies too, with the Waters on Mars and
Waters on Mars.
That's a really good one, and
all
the Christmas specials are so rewatchable.
Yeah. What's your favorite Christmas special?
Wow, my favorite Christmas special. That's a thought. I really like the one with Matt Smith, the wardrobe one.
The wardrobe. Oh, okay, with the kids.
With the kids, and he goes back to the other planet that has like the creature. Matt Smith, I think for me worked great for the Christmas episodes.
Yeah, the first one was my favorite one. The one that was kind of like the Scrooge
his regeneration.
Thing.
Yeah, it's incredible when he meets Amelia Pond. But his silliness connects with, because Christmas you think family friendly, and he's a really family friendly, kid friendly, Doctor with his silliness. And because even when he goes to war, when that whole storyline breaks out, and he still has a childlikeness about him that's just that you can connect to. So that's a great Christmas special. What's one of your favorite episodes? What was that?
Her husband's a river song.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
That was great.
yep.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was
Her
was her send off was incredible because she kind of had multiple send offs.
Yeah.
and they just kept feeling they couldn't
Yeah.
get it right. And I think one of the reasons they couldn't get it right is like I said about Matt Smith was pretty silly, and that's a very serious, complex love story. With River Song's character. So for Matt Smith's character, I mean, even though that's the relationship that it started from and formed with, as a send-off, as she kind of aged more and she grew more, he just felt too immature for the viewers for that to be the person she sent off with. And with Capaldi, that send-off was excellent. I mean, just, and they had, what was it, like 7 years or something like that? She goes, we have 2 days. And she goes, how long is a day, last? Yeah. It's like 7 years or something like that. What are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm just trying to see how deep you're getting
Oh,
into
no.
it, man.
Well, no, that's also one of my favorite episodes. And River Song
very
is a very great, he's a great character. And that's the whole episode where half the episode, she's with him and doesn't realize he's the doctor.
Right.
Until that final moment. And it's just, it has...
He doesn't really give that information away either in that episode, I don't think.
No, but the best thing about that episode, and that's probably the silliest thing that I've ever seen Capaldi do, is when she goes into the TARDIS, the other character. Well, he goes into the TARDIS, sorry. She brings him in not knowing he's the doctor, and then he finally gives the reaction that he expects the TARDIS to have. And it's so good. He's like, oh, wow, this is amazing. My entire understanding of the universe, entire space. And it's true, no one reacts like that.
Yeah.
That's
No one.
how they should be.
It is. And it's funny because the most recent companion, Billy...
Yeah,
Billy says she says it opposite.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, it's smaller.
And he's never heard that before.
And he's
That's
like, which intrigued him, but still, he never got that oomph. And if you really think about it, every thought, someone in a car ran in, came out, was kind of excited, but no one was like completely mind blown. And he was like, and I love that. That was just like a very silly thing that I don't even know if that was originally written in, or maybe he kind of did that. And there was probably a lot of ad libbing to that because that's a great thing. But yeah, River Song's an incredible character. If anybody has favorite episodes they want to throw out, we can discuss. More than welcome.
Vincent the Doctor.
Oh, the Vincent Van Gogh episode,
Gogh.
Starry Night.
Yeah.
Starry Night.
Yeah.
Wow,
And then they go back to the art gallery.
Yeah, I wanted to cut my ear off after that episode.
That was very heartfelt because he brought back.
Episode.
Have you ever noticed what they do though? Because also one of the all-time funniest ones was there's in sequence, the lodger, the one with James Corden when
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like so, like the most heartbreaking one is also paired with like.
Yeah. He would have been a great companion for a whole season.
Yeah.
I thought
They did bring him back.
with 2 episodes. Yeah. Him and Matt Smith had great chemistry.
Yeah, they tested. I think I thought was it Donna's father was a great companion.
Oh, I thought
Awesome. Wilfred. Yeah.
He only got number 10 killed, but even that 10 send off. I mean, obviously the most heartbreaking regeneration ever is Doctor Number 10 with the I don't want to go, and it's like, and again, like most fans know his backstory, the actor's backstory, and you guys like I don't think
He meant that.
he meant it. He really meant it. I think everyone you ball because you're like, yeah, he don't want to go, and I don't want him to go, and
then he repeats that line in the 50th when he leaves.
Yes, and then he always says that. Number 11, he always says that.
He always says that.
But and that was a very uphill battle for number 11, and I got into Doctor Who late, so 11 had already had like 2 seasons in when I started watching. So since I started watching it right away in sequence, I guess it didn't take as long for him to grow on me as most people who are probably watching it week to week
I've
or
had
originally.
a hard time.
It took
After 10, I've had a hard time.
That's hard because he was. I mean, so many episodes he had. Such a good doctor, and you're such a fan. You can't. It's hard to get acquainted to that.
Well, I know you said 10 is your favorite regeneration, but 11 had
that is my favorite generation. He had a great
his
regeneration
speech was
also.
incredible because he was just like, I'll always remember when the doctor was me. You hear in the actor and you see the behind the scenes of him reading it and around the table with all the directors and stuff. Like he really felt.
Well, he was really emotional. Go ahead.
Do you think that Tom Holland from Infinity Wars pulled that I don't want to go, Mr. Stark from his performance?
Maybe. I don't know if he's a big Doctor Who fan, Tom Holland specifically, but yeah, it is. That is a very number 10 almost. I didn't bring it up. I know. I've been accused that Infinity War is getting brought up in our panels, and so I got to point out this time I did not bring it up.
He does it all the time. But that death scene. Now that you brought it up, that death scene has been killed ever since.
Yes, Groot. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have a Marvel panel at 3:30.
Oh yeah.
But if everyone can't make that panel, just in case, so everyone, there's kids in the room, man. I can't. That's hard.
No,
it's not profanity like that, but it's very heartbreaking. If everyone knows what they said what Groot's last words were, and he calls Rocket Dad. So After that, Spider-Man kind of just got moved to the side because
that's just for us.
It's just it's more heartbreaking. No?
Not my
Hashtag not my group. Yes, that's.
And we have an episode about that if you want to listen.
I just think it's unfortunate that as I walked out of that movie theater feeling as if hope actually was drilled into my heart.
We'll get into that at 3:30, Mom.
You know what? They did it again.
Someone's being edited out.
Yes, that's fine. My mother doesn't watch Doctor Who, so she's trying to change the conversation.
Now I see where he gets it from.
Okay, with regard to Doctor Who, how do you feel this change of gender is
The new Doctor.
Doctor Who?
We'll see.
It's for me, it's not really about the gender. I know maybe plenty of people will have a problem with that. My problem, like I said, I'm always having a hard time to
Change doctors in general.
change doctors, no matter what. After 10th, it's been like the hardest thing. 11 it took me maybe 2 seasons for me to get to 11. I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
Not even lying.
That's most people.
Yes, it took us 3 weeks to watch it. And even Peter, I was like, no way, I'm not doing this, man.
Yeah.
Like, and I love him. I love him. It took me a whole year, guys, to watch it.
Something
A whole year,
my input.
right?
A whole year.
No, he didn't want it. He's like, I'm not gonna watch it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
She has
great.
her hand up for a while.
Go ahead.
You never mentioned Missy.
Missy.
Missy, yeah.
Missy.
Well, that's because now we're talking about the gender. We're talking about the gender switch. They were hinting it for a while.
Forever, yeah.
They were hinting it for a while, and you pick up on the subtleties, and it was already a conversation. Like they're probably going to make the next Doctor female because they kept hinting at it with subtleties.
Felt like
and
a test run.
Exactly. And once they did it with Missy, and I'll tell you right now, that's actually my favorite version of the Master is Missy. And then she grows, and then complete, and then actually. It's incredible because it actually makes the other Master more villainous.
They did.
Yes.
I love that they both came back.
Yeah, it actually. And what's the smartest thing about that? It makes that version of the Master even more so the most villainous, evil version of the Master that he kills himself.
Yeah.
Because he he has no respect for his future regeneration, and he kills it because he has no respect for it. That it's not as evil as
Did she end up killing him in the episode? They killed each other.
I believe they killed each other.
You just saw the episode, so you
Yeah.
had him
I believe they
recent
killed
in
each
your
other.
head.
No, there was no killing.
The master went in and
Yeah.
he left.
Yeah, he left.
He left.
He just left.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, so the
He
problem
was
was back
wounded.
again. He was wounded though, but she
There's
died.
no end. Like,
Yeah, we don't know. It's wibbly wobbly, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because he was
But-
wounded in that episode, and then they left it so he was gonna turn into her.
See, and then going from that, Missy worked for me as the Master. And I actually have a lot of faith. They changed the showrunner. I actually just finished all 3 seasons of Broadchurch. I had made the mistake of watching the American version first. So my wife and I we binged it.
You skipped the first season.
I watched the first episode and the last episode because the same storyline. But I don't know of what her range is as an actor because she had a very specific character in Broadchurch, and it's a very vanilla character. I mean, she does the character great. I'm just saying overall, it's a mom, and they might carry that into the Doctor somehow. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think that she's going to be the Matt Smith to Capaldi. In other words, she's going to be a sillier Doctor. If the story arc is right, and I think it's the showrunners also from Broadchurch that are doing it.
Yeah.
And Broadchurch has a very dark, strong tone to it, which is what they just came off with
which is
Capaldi.
why I feel like she might be my favorite one. She will end up being my favorite one. If they go dark, if they go a little bit...
It can be good. It's like, if they don't get too... It's a good challenge for those writers. Those writers are being very happily challenged right now because they don't want to make it cliche and go overly too much about I used to be a guy and now I'm a girl.
Yeah.
Keep doing little jokes about that, about now I got to do makeup and now I got to do hair and I of what that is. But they also can't completely not address it either. Like, oh, I'm just a girl now, and that's I've always and act like if she's always been a woman and have no conflict there. On top of that, they're gonna have to engage with their companions in a different route. I don't think they'll be crazy enough to go a romantic interest right out the gate with the very first female version of the Doctor. So they might go with almost like a mother-like, and again, that's where she's
Like
a
a family,
good...
like a
exactly.
family type.
If she has a male companion, have almost like a mother-son relationship, which we've obviously never seen on Doctor Who before.
Well, she's
because
getting 3
it's always been a role.
this season.
Yeah, which is smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the old versions of the show, they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only been with the reboot that they've only had 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Go back in the old, you can see the old ones. It was not.
They've had more.
Yeah.
He has a group. He has a group behind him, and
It was like the first season. There were like 5 of them.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
his granddaughter, the professor, and then like another teacher. Yeah.
So it looks like, and they'll probably do that in a smart way, almost like they were like most recent. Actually, because we've been talking about it recently, like James Bond with the Daniel Craig series. They kind of made it newer, like Born Supremacy style, but went back to the classic format of James Bond, more simple, not so high tech, not so big action stunts, not so the more of the simple
Not so
spy
fake.
situation. Yeah. But and it's the same thing. So they might be going like, we're gonna kind of go back to the classic original Doctors 1 through 8 format of Doctor Who, but have the type of edge and writing to it and the story arcs and villainous that the newer
I
Doctors
love
have.
the last Christmas special.
It's great with the Doctor number 1.
With the first
Which he does him
Doctor.
great. Which is incredible because he did him for the biography.
The biography,
that they
yeah.
did of him, and then they have him play him again for.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Bill Potts, that's like my new favorite. I love her so much. Nobody likes Bill Potts.
Bill's awesome.
Bill's good.
She's excellent, and she's great. She's actually.
No love for Bill or Martha.
Yeah. No,
well,
well, Martha's.
That's a different story.
Martha's. No.
I see a lot of people that usually like Donna as their favorite don't like Martha, and then the
It's
other way
the
around.
opposite.
Yeah, people that love Martha
Personally,
don't like Donna.
Bill's not my favorite companion, but for Capaldi, that was my favorite companion. I think she actually had a better chemistry with Doctor Number
She had
12.
a wit. She had a very wit.
Than
to
Clara.
her, yeah.
Yeah, and their banter is excellent. They have excellent back and forth banter. And she's, she has a more complex storyline. Right at the gate, early on, when she falls in love with the other girl that turns into a puddle of water or
Right.
whatever, and which comes back later. And then it was awesome that they were able to bring her back for the Christmas special also. So they had great interaction. I'll tell you, that's villains. That's when I love to talk about Doctor Who, because you have some iconic ones.
Great.
And right, I'm actually wearing the shirt right now, if you can see it, which is the Weeping Angels. That
We can't.
that is so.
She said stand
yeah,
up. Mommy
sorry,
said
but
stand up.
But yeah, so go ahead. Oh, that would be awesome. Just scare kids away. That's good for Halloween. But I mean, it's such like what is it? The Angels in Manhattan and the Statue of Liberty ends up being one. It's like that's so. I mean, it's over the top.
Yeah, that episode was over.
Yeah, it's over the top. But I'm just saying the concept of like statues can just.
Listen, I went to Halloween Horror Nights that they had the statues at the haunted house. Let me tell you, that was the scariest.
I mean, the concept of statues, things you walk around and see every day, can be a whole life. And the idea of like, if someone's not watching it for every second, the devastation. I mean, my favorite companions got taken out by the Weeping Angels. And again, not taken out because they just take them to another time, lost in space. Unfortunately, they were able to do it together.
Yeah.
Which that would have been dark if she hadn't ended up with Rory. Like, luckily, they didn't write that in.
What's interesting about the Weeping Angels is that the episode they
Blink.
start and blink. It's just
that's one of my top 3 episodes. Also,
it's yeah, the Doctor's barely in that episode. He's in it like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah,
he's in it like in a computer
But
or something.
that's how good of an
explaining what's going on.
antagonist they are, that they can carry an episode.
Yeah. It's a filler episode, but it's like
We have a
the best.
silence, right?
The Silence,
Silence.
that's great. They're excellent.
Yeah. I wish they did more
You
with the
f-
silence
you
because
forget.
they're very evil.
Well, they bring it back over time, the Zygons were slow to come back.
Yeah.
They can do something, they might do it.
Yeah, they'll bring them back.
And then of course you have the Daleks.
The Daleks,
Exterminate.
the Cybermen.
Exterminate. And the children from World War II. That's just.
Yeah, those children are
Mommy,
scary.
are you
Yeah.
my mommy? Yeah. That's so creepy. See, I'm a little disappointed there's no kids right now dressed as that. You all need to get gas masks for your kids for Halloween and make that a thing. Like, that's gotta be a thing. Go ahead.
Christmas specials. It's been a while. The one with David Morrissey, I think it's called Not the Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would have been a good
That is
doctor
a
too.
Christmas special. That was Tennant's Christmas special.
He would have been a good doctor too. And actually, I almost kind of want to count him as a doctor, the almost, the maybe doctor.
Yeah.
He was incredible, but
he would have been great
Yeah.
if it wasn't that he just got casted for The Walking Dead right after
the
that.
governor.
Yeah.
Which is that's such a jump from the governor
Such a
to
jump.
that.
Yeah,
It shows how much range that actor has.
As the governor, and then watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows he has a soul outside of that character. We're going to start wrapping up a little bit with something we do in every one of our episodes of the podcast called The Nerdcessity. And that's what I was saying earlier about Captain Jack Harkness. Probably not the most kid-friendly thing. My Nerdcessity, you guys have
No, you go ahead.
No,
It's yours.
Right. There's a spin-off called Torchwood. I don't know if everyone's seen that, but for any of our audience that's now getting into Doctor Who that will listen to this podcast later.
Except the kids.
Yeah, except for the kids.
adults.
When they're older, they can watch it. Specifically that one season, what's it called?
Not you.
No, you can't watch that. Children of Earth.
Like 20 years
Which
too young.
I can almost recommend. You can just jump straight into that season and not even bother with the rest of the series because that season is just mind-blowing, the writing that goes into it. And they actually bring up the Doctor in that one. And it's scary because it's like with the choice that the governments of Earth are faced with from this alien race, it's scary. Like that is probably what would happen. And when as you watch that episode,
that's a no doubt.
and you see the darkness of it, and it's great because that episode starts out that season starts out with I forget the main character's name now, but she's talking to the Doctor saying, "Now I know why you're not here for this because you would be so disappointed in man and the planet that you protect with how they're handling the situation." And what happens with Captain Jack, and that's why he's my favorite, because when you go to the Stars series of Torchwood, there's one episode specifically where he is being killed over and over again in New York. And that episode is so dark, so deep. It's just a great episode. And Captain Jack is just that he became one of my favorite characters from Doctor Who after that, specifically that episode. But when you go back and watch Torchwood, he's actually a very selfless character in a lot of ways and embodied from Doctor Who and from his experience with him. So that's usually how we wrap it up with our necessity. We have another panel coming here soon. So if anybody wants one last minute thing they gotta throw out before leaving our panel, does anybody have anything? Anything at all? Going once? The TARDIS interior.
Oh, what's your favorite TARDIS interior?
Oh, there you go.
That actually, I don't even know that's a thing.
I don't even see.
Hey, what's yours?
Yeah, what is yours? What is it?
What's your favorite interior from the TARDIS?
I don't know, the new one.
The only one you see.
Or the one he hasn't seen, the one that's coming.
Hey, the new one does look pretty cool. It's very techy.
It does, yeah. It's actually gonna be pretty. It might end up being my favorite.
Yeah.
That might be my new one. But that's because it's when it's tech. The newer is you're gonna be better, and you're gonna like it more. As long as it still has like 2 swimming pools and a library, and all the other things. I would actually like they start showing that more.
I like in the 50th anniversary. He's just like, oh, you brought up the round things.
Yes.
It's like I never liked the round things.
So, well, that'll wrap up this panel. Again, we have another one at 3:30. We'll be talking Marvel. So I see a lot of Marvel cosplay in here. So I hope to see you back here at 3:30. It's only another hour from now. So we'll sit through another panel and then talk to us. And we'll talk on Infinity War and all kinds of great stuff. So thank you so much. It's Omega. Peace.
MSK, peace out.
Yo, peace. Peters.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.
I don't want to go.